Welcome. This is Bob Rutledge, and I do digital marketing for small contractors throughout the country. And so, if you want to learn a little bit right now about doing pay per click, and in particular, what I'm going to do is take a Google account and duplicate it over to Bing. Then you want to hang on and listen to the rest of this video. All right. If for any reason you have a question about how to do this or uh, some things I didn't cover in the video, down below there will be a link to my website. You can always hit the button over here in the corner. Let's see, where's that? Right here, right there. Hit that button in the corner and follow the videos. And anytime I do an update, you'll get a notification. But I hope to knock out. I'm starting to where I'm not producing a video about every day. So there's something for everyone to learn. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'll also put my email. Well, if you go to the website, you'll find my email or phone number and just call and ask me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it. In this particular case today, I've been working on a client in the Dallas, Texas area, and pay per click for heating and air conditioning contractors is just nothing short of outrageous. That's why you have to learn how to do display ads, remarketing. Um, you need to have in your repertoire uh, a good contact management system where you are following up with people who have inquired or used your service in the past. And if you're not doing that and even more than what I've just mentioned, uh, you're going to fail at doing pay per click because it is just too difficult to acquire a client and run your business. I mean, used to this is all you had to do is advertise under AC Repair, and your day, your week, your month, your year was made. But now you've got to keep up with your customers and constantly show them that you care. Really, the whole thing about marketing is not that you're bigger, better, cheaper, whatever. It's if you can make an emotional attachment with your clients. So, in my case, what do I do? Well, I hope to offer more service here, free, something that you will appreciate, and that will build an emotional attachment. Maybe there's something you just dislike or like about me. Let's hope it's like. And so, for instance, I'm a Trump supporter right there. So, and a Ronald Reagan guy. So we can connect on that level. Maybe you're kind of surprised to find a guy that's 65 years old doing this stuff because usually it's these young guys who have a lot of head knowledge about it, uh, but they don't have a lot of practical experience. I have spent over $1 million on pay per click over the years. Uh, some of it was actually fruitful, some of it wasn't, and so that's how you learn what to do is trial and error. Only this trial and error is getting too expensive here. But anyway, back to what I was going to talk about. So I'm advertising this contractor under the typical pay per click words, and I've redone the entire campaign. Still working on it. We do both display ads and uh, text ads, and quite frankly, I've turned the text ads way down. Uh, so we're not even, you just can't afford to spend a lot on Google anymore. But here's the saving grace. Bing ads are a great deal. They've gone back to calling themselves Microsoft. So Microsoft is a great deal. Now I have canceled every campaign on here. I just deleted because now I'm going to import the one that I made an update to, and then start adding on to that. So every year or two, I go through a campaign. I just wipe it out and start over because so much has changed. Landing pages need to change. It's not something you can set and forget forever. Of course, bids need to be adjusted, every week or so at the least, um, and certainly throughout the year. And just you have to make some updates to a campaign, but make major changes at least once a year. Yeah, at least once a year. So that's what's happening today. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to import this from Google. Make all the changes over on Google, even if I'm not running the ads very competitively over there. When I move them over here, they'll be running competitively. You just don't get the total number of eyeballs and therefore the total number of responses that you would need to run a great, to have a great deal of leads. But it does work. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Import campaigns. Import from Google Ads and sign into the account. And okay, here's the one we're going to want is that one. Continue. And import all existing and new campaigns. And that's what I'm going to do because I just got through deleting everything. And there are some things that I do not want. There's some settings on here that you need to learn how to do it. Update bids and strategies. Increase campaign budgets to the minimum. Um, update existing campaign budgets. I'm going to not change that. I don't want it to change the budgets. All right. Well, this is the first time I'm bringing it in, so yeah, I do. And increase product group bids to the minimum. It's not going to be an increase keyword and ad group target bids to the minimum. That is not going to be a issue. Update to existing items, delete items that have been removed from your Google Ads account. Targeting. Pause campaigns when all imported location targets are unsupported. That's probably a good idea. Include paused ads when importing new ads. Yeah. Well, yeah. And if they're paused, no, don't. I can't think of a reason to do it. Do not expand unsupported location targets. This is a biggie because typically what will happen if Bing does not recognize, let's say you're advertising for a targeted radius in Texas, in a town in Texas, what Bing will do if they don't recognize it is they'll just turn on all of Texas. Been there and done that. Include pause campaigns. Just read through all of these. Find and replace text. Since I'm really importing everything for the first time, I'm just going to go with this and then go through everything and we'll see how it turns out. 12-hour days. Email results. Only if there are changes or errors. Only if there are errors. Let's do both of those. Costs nothing. And view import schedule. Well, now what did I do? Import from Google Ads. What happened to it? Oh, I didn't mean to schedule it. Did I schedule it? Well, I think I made an error, and that's fine. All right, let's do this again. Import from Google Ads. Continue. Continue, because that's the only account I'll import all existing and new ads. Import specific campaigns. That's really what I should have done. So here's what I want to run. I do not want to run custom intent. I want to do that, competition, heating and air. I don't want to run display ads. I'm glad that's screwed up. Show paused ad groups. So let's continue. What to import account level URLs. Delete items that have been removed from your Google account. Increase keyword and ad group bids to the minimum. That is not going to be a problem. Like I said earlier, update bids and strategies, increase campaign. Go back down here again to do not expand unsupported locations. That has cost me a lot of money in the past. Locations are unsupported. And include paused ads when importing new ads. So let's continue. And I don't want to do this weekly. I just want to run. I don't want to schedule. Do it now. That's what threw me off. That might be some automation though that I need to look into. I mean, I've been doing this for a decade, and that's the first time I'd seen the scheduling part. So evidently, it's going to go in there, and whatever I do to Google, it's going to go out and grab it. But I can see a big problem with that because you're bidding twice as much money on Google, and so if it updates itself every week, you're going to have big problems. So don't do that. All right, as you can see, it's importing the campaign now. Now, if your competition in your town can seem overwhelming, one of the things I've learned lately, though, narrow your area. So yeah, let's say you service 20 miles in every direction, but you don't have the budget and the ad spend to be targeting 20 miles in all directions. Pick your zip code. Advertise to own your zip code. And I think you'll find if that's the only area you advertise in, you might have enough budget to do that. So as you can see here, it imported 177 keywords, 42 ads, 14 ad groups, 5 campaigns. Let's view and see what they imported. If I don't like some of them, I'll delete them. So we have competition, heating and air, brands, AC repair, and manual. Really, these are ads by city. Now, the first thing I want to do is reduce these daily budgets. I want to cut them in half, maybe even more. Save. Heating and air, especially in the beginning. I mean, you don't want to screw up and have something running sideways on you. And so I'm going to cut all my bad budgets in half or by more. This right here, I'm going to cut by more. Let's get into $40. And then after these get to running well, and I kind of know I might consolidate my budget, and so I have one big shared budget. I say big. It might even, once I add all of these together, it might even be less than what the total you would add here together is. Now let's go in and take a look at AC repair, because that's going to be the one that draws the most traffic. Let's go ahead and cut our manual bid at least in half. In fact, I'm going to cut it by more than that. I'm going to cut the 22, I'm going to cut it down to about 9. And then when you go into each keyword, I may have had some of them set for specific bid amounts. I'll just go in and yeah, you can see it there. So where I had them set individually, here's how you bring them all back down to the standard bid. You click edit, change current bids, and then leave the bid blank and hit save. It knocks all of them back down to what your group bid was, which in this case was $9. Go through every one of these and do that. So let me go back to the group. In this particular case, I only have one group. I'm going to change it to $4. And then when you go in and look at keywords, it knocked them all back down to $4. York plus C. Might as well delete that word. Let's go back over to York over here and see if come on. Sorry about that. I have very slow internet here. Okay, let's go to York. Brands. York. Sure enough. Save that. And while we're over here, let's do this. York air conditioner price. Let's see if that ad's running. It says it isn't, but we'll diagnose it anyway. Change the location to 75057. Do desktop. And I don't know why it's doing it like this. It's not cleared out the cache, I guess, or something. So we can get rid of that and make the page widen up. There you go. So another ad, another keyword, better similar results, although it had showing it's not ranked high enough. So, I need to raise it there, but then if you go over to the other one, it'll probably be showing. Now, this guy is a York dealer, so I'm actually going to go back and raise that price now while that is at my attention. And I will go in, let's see. Sometimes I change the individual ad groups. And sometimes I go in, so let's go to campaigns. Let's go to brands. And let's go ahead and up it to $10. These words are outrageous. Let's go to locations. And you can see I've already put a 20% markup on that just for the location and probably for the time of day. Let's go to other settings, add schedule. So during normal business hours, I just run it at that. So let's go back and try it again. Keywords, search keywords. Previewing, diagnose. May take a while since I've got all those multipliers to work out. But you can see who is showing up here. York Heating and Air. Oh, that's great. Train Supplies coming up under York Heating and Air. Need to work on getting my client listed as a York dealer. Maybe that'll help him show up in that area. And that's a conversation for another video. I do have them ranked pretty well for, let's see, AC repair. So right now they're not showing under pay-per-click, and it's hard as heck to get shown under Google Local Services. I don't know what response you've had with that. But their saving grace is I do a lot on this client's Google My Business page. And what I mean by a lot is I post constantly, add products and services, I'll add photographs out like crazy, both photographs by the owner, photographs by customers, and that keeps them ranked in the Google Maps section at the top. Again, everything is about proximity marketing. If you are looking for a lawyer and you are standing, a block or two down the street from me, you're going to get different results than when I get where I'm standing. And so Google wants to know where you're at, or they'll approximate what cell towers you're bouncing off of. So there is no static result for this, is the point that I'm making. It's all about how close you are to the geo center of the person doing the search. They don't even have to put in AC repair near me. They just have to put in AC repair. As you can see for mobile, there are multipliers that bump up the price of mobile. And so you're going to get a whole different group of people there. And but again, the saving grace is all the work we've done throughout the year on Google My Business page. All right, let's go back over here and finish working on this though. So we've got that checked out. Manual bids for city. I advertise under like Carrollton Air Conditioning, Carrollton AC Repair, Carrollton. Um, I don't think we lowered the bids here yet. Um, Let me go back. You got $40 a day. Let's see, what were we bidding for AC repair? Till we figure out where we're at, I'm going to lower all these. In fact, a quick way to do this, since I have lowered the budgets, is to go into, let's go back up to this one. So city, go to add groups, and then change the budgets. See, I've got it pumped up pretty good right there. So why don't I just do it this way? Edit, change current bids, decrease 50%, save. So that should cut them. There you go. I like that number. And then if you go into all the keywords under that, you need to make sure that you did not set some of them manually. And you can see that I did right there. So here's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm going to change the current bids and just leave it blank. And you'll see the ones that are $625 will still be $625, but that $40 one is gone now. Okay, so that's just some things that will speed you up there. Let's go to competition. Let's do that here as well. Go to groups. And this is where I advertise under other brand names. We've already cut the budget. Let's cut the amount that you have to bid. Let's do it by change current bids, decrease. We'll decrease it 50% as well. Then again, to verify that we've not jacked some up manually before we came over here, just go down and look through these manually. They look fine. Heating and air. Why would you advertise under heating and air? Well, it's a theory of mine. The cheapest words you're ever going to advertise under are your own brand name and then other people's brand names. A lot cheaper than advertising under the work that you do. So a plumber, rather than advertising under plumbers or water heaters, might want to think about advertising under their competition's brand name. In this particular case, heating and air is like Jones Heating and Air. People look that up. What's the phone number for Jones Heating and Air? Because that's who they normally use. And so when they look it up, what you're hoping is you'll be second, and they'll call you when Jones Heating and Air is booked up for the day. So that's why I run those ads under those keywords. Now, again, I'm going to cut this at least in half for each ad group. Let's go back to ad group. So I'm just going to change this to $9. And then we'll up it as time goes on. Now, when you go back and check all your keywords, they're $9. And then just one more quick check before I stop this video. I'm going to go back to, settings. Let's go to the settings. And let's go to each, we're going to do this for each one of them, but we want to check where the ads are showing. And so far that looks good. Competition, where's that ad showing? Now another thing you don't is you don't want your ads. So you do. Here's what you want to change. Let me go to the very top one, and we'll change it, and then I'll know to go down each one of them methodically and change them. So when you look at this, you're checking where you want your ad to run. On Bing, because the words are cheaper and your budget will go further, you can also expand your territory a little bit. But I do not want, all right, who should see the ads? People in your targeted location, people searching for or viewing pages about your targeted location. I'm just going to leave it to people in my targeted location. That setting has changed from time to time, so you have to be careful about it. Just because it was one way one time, that I know they've changed that setting. Under brands, I'm going to do the same thing. Let's check the location. So under settings, those zip codes, probably add in that area right there, but people in your targeted location. Well, good. We don't seem to have a problem since we made that change on the settings, importing things. All right, let's check the settings on this one. 15 miles. Okay. Let's view that. Let's just see what it looks like. And let's also let's check the ad schedule. So from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. decreased by 50%. This is on Sunday. 8 a.m. 4 decrease. You just set it for 0. I just pick these numbers. One of the reasons I go for this 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. time slot is because people come home from work. That's also usually the hottest time of the day, and that's when they notice the air conditioner's not working. You certainly wouldn't do that for plumbing or whatever, or electrician. You'd probably run your ads in the morning because that's when people book to work. And if you're probably not booked by noon, you're not going to get a phone call on that. Or if you're doing, I do a lot with roofers, painting contractors, and that sort of thing. So you want to go, it looks like it all transferred over here. Friday from 4 to 6, actually increase the bid. Friday from 8 to 4, actually increase the bid. So I've got some increases built into these numbers. Competition, let's check. Nothing here to change. This looks good. Ad schedule. Let's check device this time. Now, I'm not targeting any device, but a lot of people do. Certainly 60% of all your views are going to be on a smartphone. But the argument can be made with Microsoft is those are going to be views made on desktop. And going back to Google, people bid up the mobile searches, the tablet searches. So why not you bid up the desktop? People still use their desktop to search. Go for that vein of the market. So let's go here and take a look at, and you'll notice everything is enabled because that's how I downloaded it. And so I'll look at that email I just got. Add schedule. Locations look good. Let me check that email. Just issue. Anyway, you want to. I hope you get the gist of this. Is that Google is too expensive to advertise on for most trades. Shrink your search area down very small, and you may be actually able to be competitive even on Google. Fix everything in Google first and then move it over to Bing, because I'm not aware that there's a way to import from Bing. Doesn't even matter. But that way you only make your changes one time. But look for the pitfalls, because the major pitfall that I've had occur in the past is that when it doesn't match a targeted location, it tends to expand it. So you've got to check that box down there that says no. If you don't recognize the targeted area, then pause the ad, or certainly don't expand the ad. Don't expand the coverage. And then cut your bids by a major amount, because it just until you find your way over on that area. But I think that you'll find that Microsoft ads are more cost effective, and they work essentially the same way Google does. There's just not the volume. It's probably a third, and but still, they're cheaper. Hope that helps. Again, subscribe to the button right here. I'll do this several times a week, a new update. I do it for specific areas. If you have a website you want me to feature on this, I'll be glad to do it. I don't want to put anybody's website down. I just mean to offer good advice on how to make things better. And again, thank you for your time, and have a good day.